Hi guys, welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything entrepreneurship, building and growing a brand. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to subscribe or just stick around for the video. All right, let's go. Okay, so today we're going to talk about all the steps that you need to take to register your business, to make your business legit, and to have all the paperwork done and ready. So the first thing that you'll need to do is to choose your business structures. So depending on the country that you live in, you'll have multiple business structures, but here in Belgium, because I live in Belgium, we have about 7 of them, and I would say that the most used ones are the sole proprietorship, which is also called eenmanszaak here in Belgium or in Dutch. We also use the LLC, which is called the BV. And we also have something called naamloze vennootschap, which over in the United States I think is called let me cheat partnership corporation. I'm thinking that's the name, but those are the 3 that we usually use or are most commonly used here in Belgium to register businesses. If you choose to go with the sole proprietorship, then registering your business is going to be a lot easier than if you go with another business structure, just because with the other business structures, you'll have to go to a notary, you'll have to make a business plan. Yes, you have to sit down with the notary and get a bunch of paperwork done, and the notary is not cheap. You'll have to pay him. So it's a little bit more complicated, and I have a whole podcast episode. No, that's not true. I have a podcast episode on the different business structures. So if you want to listen to that, I will put it somewhere on the screen right now. But when you go to the notary and the notary has done everything that he or she had to do for you, you still have to do a couple of steps that you'll also have to do when you just have a sole proprietorship. So in essence, it's easier to register your business as a sole proprietorship. You'll have to do a couple of steps, and even if you're choosing one of the other business structures, then you'll still have to do a couple of other steps when you've gone to the notary. Okay, I'm hoping that I was clear, because clearly English is not my first language, but I'm hoping that I got the message through. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need to have is a company number, or een ondernemingsnummer as we call it here in Dutch. Basically, that's the identity of your business. So if you look at yourself, you have a passport or an identity card, and on those documents there are a series of numbers that are just for you. Those are personal to you, and you can be identified with those numbers. So the same thing applies to businesses and companies. They also have to have an identity, which is that ondernemingsnummer or that company number. So that is something that you'll have to get, and then on top of that you'll have to get it activated and have your tax number, your VIT number, your BTW number as we call it here in Dutch. So if you go to the notary because you've chosen not to go with the sole proprietorship, then you can do these 2 steps through the notary. But if you have a sole proprietorship, then you have to do this yourself. And there are a couple of organizations here in Belgium that will help you do that. We call them ondernemingsloketten in Dutch and guichet d'entreprise. I think in French. I'll have to look it up and I will put it down on the screen what they are called. I'm thinking, so there are a couple of them in Belgium, but I'm thinking it's Unizo, Xerius and Partena are a couple of them that will help you start up your business, and they will help you also to get your company number and your VIT number so that you can start building your business, building your brand. Okay, so the next thing you have to do in Belgium is to get yourself registered as an independent worker. When you work for someone, when you work for an employer, your employer is basically paying your social contribution. So when you take a look at your payslip, you have whatever it is that they're paying you, then they will take stuff out of that, and then you'll have your net wage, which is what the amount that you'll see on your bank account. But your employee actually takes out social contributions so that whenever you fall sick, you can have money from the government, or whenever you go on pension, you can also have money. So that is why they take out those contributions. But when you're an entrepreneur, there is nobody there that can take out the contributions from any pay, because you are paying yourself. So now you have to pay those contributions also yourself, and that is why you have to get registered as an independent worker or as an entrepreneur. So here in Belgium, we have this thing called zelfstandige in bijberoep, which basically means that you still work a full-time job and that you're as an employee, but next to that job you also are an entrepreneur and you're doing your hustle on the side. If you register your hustle on the side, then you will be called zelfstandige in bijzaak, and you will have to pay lesser contribution because your employer is already going to take money out of your pay for those contributions. You will only have to pay about 20% of whatever it is that you make with your side hustle. So that is just so you guys have an idea how much contributions you're actually going to pay. Now let's say you take the leap, you take the jump, you're becoming a full-time entrepreneur. Yes, but that also comes with a cost, because the minimum contributions when you're a full-time entrepreneur are about 700, maybe 740 euros. I have to look it up. I will put it right here. And you will have to pay this amount every 3 months. And this is a minimum. Just keep that in mind. As your revenue goes up, your contributions are also going up. So keep that in mind. Okay, so another thing that you'll have to do when you register your business is to open a business account. A business bank account. This is super important, especially if you have a sole proprietorship. If you choose one of the other structures, then it's normal, then you can't open them. You'll have to have a business account, a professional business account. But if you have a sole proprietorship, sometimes people like to use their private accounts. I would not suggest you do that. Go ahead and open a business account, because if you start paying things for your business with your private account, if the IRS decides that they want to come and take a look at your business and they see that you've paid for things with your private account, then they can actually start snooping around in your private accounts and things, and you don't want that. Well, I would not want that. So my advice would be, regardless of whatever business structure that you have, make sure you have separate accounts, private and business, and you use those accordingly. Another thing that we have to do here in Belgium when we register a business and make everything legit is to go and notify our medical assurance. I myself don't understand, I still don't understand why we have to do this, but it's something that has to be done. So I'm guessing if it has to be done in Belgium, then it probably also has to be done in other countries. So basically, here in Belgium, we have something that is called mutualiteit, la mutuelle or mutualité. And basically, it's just our medical insurance. You know, when we go to the doctor, when we go to the hospital, then you get stuff paid back. And you have to notify them that you are no longer an employee, but that you now are an entrepreneur. Don't ask me why, because I don't know the why behind this point. I just know that you got to do it. So now, how much does this cost? You guys want to know, because I wanted to know. I wanted to know before I started, like, how much money am I going to have to put into this in order to make my business legit? As I said, if you go for another, like the other business structures, and you go through a notary, then you're going to have to pay the notary, and they have some big fees. If you use a sole proprietorship, then you won't have those notary fees, those account fees. So let's just say that you have a sole proprietorship. Then you'll have to get your business registered in this database in Belgium where all the businesses are registered, and it's called the KBO, and it stands for Kruisbankpunt voor Ondernemingen. I will put it right here, and that costs you about 89 and 50 cents to get that done. And then, as I said in the beginning of the video, you'll have to get your company number and your VIT number, your tax number, your BTW number, however you want to call it. And that costs about 69 euros. So you do the math, because I'm not good at math, but that is how much you're going to pay in order to register your business. All right, you guys, I hope you liked this short video of mine where I went over the different steps that you need to take here in Belgium to actually make your business legit and to register it and to start your entrepreneurship journey. All right, if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below when you're starting your business, and then I'll see you, or I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye.